Hello, my name is Martyr, and this is the indie game of the week, The Weaponographist, and thank you for watching. The Weaponographist is a hack and slash roguelike game, guys, and the basic gist is that you have been cursed by this witch that wanted your help, so that all the weapons that you touch will, or use in this case, will eventually break, and you constantly need to be switching to new weapons, which technically speaking doesn't make much sense if you want the hero to help you that you would curse him such a fashion, but you know, whatever. Anyways, it's a game all about adaptation and constantly learning to use new weapons in different situations. It's kind of what keeps the game fresh. It released on Steam April 2015. The Weaponographist was developed by Puba or Pubi. Puba, I'm going to pronounce. I think it's Puba. It was published by Mastertronic. You can go ahead and get the Weaponographist on Steam for $9.99. However, I will be giving away one copy of the game to one lucky subscribers, guys. All you gotta do for that is be a subscriber and leave a comment down below. We're almost up to 600 subscribers, guys, so that's why I'm just, I really would love to hit 600. That'd be friggin' sweet. But look in the description for all that kind of stuff. We are going to be starting off the options, of course, but if you want, you can hit the big red button on the top left there. It says skip to the action, and you don't have to look at the stuff. But otherwise, we're going to start off with the options, guys. Now, options-wise, there's a couple things I like, and there's a couple things I dislike. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be filming it in 16 by 900 resolution. It's just a bunch of technical stuff as to the reason why, but it does snap to the native resolution of 1080p when you put it on full screen. You have some sound sliders here, music and SFX. This is how the controls are. Now, here's the weird part. The game does feature full controller support, and it allows you to even rebind those keys. I'm pretty sure anyways. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can rebind these keys. But it doesn't let you rebind the keyboard keys. I usually find that it's backwards most of the time. But for some reason now you can rebind your controller, but you can't rebind the keyboard. It's one of those things I was like, wow, okay, that's cool, but it's a little weird. But yeah, it does feature full controller support, guys, if you want to play with the controller. I have issues with it, with my controller. I think it's a little easier to play with the keyboard. Mind you, it does get a little bit stressful on the fingers. Because you kind of have to constantly press in one direction. You have to tap the button, tap, 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 to hit in a particular direction. And that can get pretty straining on the fingers, seeing how a gameplay session can last anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. Depending on how far you get into the game. Now we're going to go ahead and hit play here. The game also does feature Steamy goodness, I should mention that. Steam cards, Steam achievements, all that good kind of stuff. Now there is like a little hub area for you to enjoy here. And this game does, even though it is a roguelike, it does have a little bit of progression in this game. This game does have some things that will help you get through it more quickly. And to be honest with you, as far as it being a roguelike goes, I think it's a very light roguelike, because there's some procedural generation, not that much. And the permadeath aspect, again, is a very light aspect to it, because there's also a way to continue onwards from where you last left off, which is through this little guy right here. So it's something that kind of made me scratch my head a little bit. It does have a little bit of roguelike factor, but not too terribly much. But basically all these guys offer you are different kinds of upgrades. So for instance, this one will slow the combo meter. This one lets you have an invincibility frame a little bit longer. This one increases your weapon durability. You get the basic idea. You can also upgrade the weapons that you find and will use in the boards themselves. So you start off with basically kind of basic weapons: fists, swords, spears, chainsaw. Well, I guess that's not basic. Bow and a machine gun, and then you start getting into weird, crazy stuff like whips and pine cones and bow staffs. And the weapons just kind of get more and more crazier as you get deeper and deeper into the game. This guy basically allows you to kind of unlock little bonuses that will happen randomly while you're running through the boards. So you can see like health up rune on depth 1, health up rune on depth 2. You get the basic idea, which I probably need to unlock these pretty quickly here. Those can be definitely very useful. This guy basically allows you to upgrade your magical spells. Magical spells are just like another form of weaponry. You get to use them a couple times and then they go away. And this guy right here just basically lets you keep track of all your statistical information and how you're doing in the game. This purple thing up here lets you to continue from a certain point in the game. I don't have any cash, so we're just going to get straight into the dungeon here. But like I said, it does have a form of progression, essentially. So what you basically start off doing right away is you basically start just beating the crap out of everything in sight. Now, I'm going to pause the game really quick because I want to talk to you about what you're looking at right here. On the top left, we have our hearts. On the top right, we have our currency, which is our green gloops. On the bottom left, we have our weapon durability and our spell durability if we had a spell at the time. On the bottom right is a combo meter. The combo meter basically allows your character to level up. What is leveling up to? Well, it increases your damage. But the thing is, though, is it's constantly draining. That's why that combo meter buff thing, you could buy it. And it'll let that drain a little bit more slowly. So as you can see, it's already starting to fill up pretty quickly here. And you need to basically fill up that white bar there on the bottom for you to completely level up. And this works out pretty well for the most part. I like this aspect to it. I think it encourages you to move quickly, kill the enemies as fast as humanly possible, and move on to the next area, basically. It's a very high stress, high quick-paced action game for the most part. Although you can see every time I strike an enemy with my spear here, its durability is going down. And that's based off of how many people you hit, not necessarily how many times you swing, how many times you hit. And you can always pick up other weapons if you want later on. You could save them. They basically just lay on the ground for like ever for you. And this is kind of how the basic area first starts out, basically. I kind of already been through this a couple times, already beaten the first area boss a couple times here. I'm gonna get hit by that bow arrow. I wasn't looking. It's gonna be difficult for me to talk, by the way, and play at the same time. This game that requires a little bit of concentration. Also, I have a little bit of an issue with this game. Even though I find it very enjoyable, and I find like switching through weapons kind of keeps things fresh and it keeps things from getting a little bit boring at times. And I mean, there are certain weapons I do find a little bit more favorable than other weapons. I definitely enjoy the spear as my favorite weapon in this game. My issue with this game is it's not necessarily a real twin-stick shooter type of game. It basically, you can hit up, down, left, and right, which is cool. And that works out really well. By the way, I'm using a spell right there. That works out really well, but it really allows you to get tagged from corners, especially, really easily. From your top left, you have kind of like these blind spots, is the best way to put it, basically. Your top, left, your top right, your northwest, your southeast are really vulnerable areas, and that's never more pronounced than with necessarily just these spear enemies who kind of just charge at you. And I don't know if you're gonna get to see it in this particular video, but if you play the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, that was pretty much an example, kind of right there, what you just saw, is that there's really no way to defend yourself from a attack coming from your top right or top left corner. And that can get a little bit frustrating because I'm gonna need a good weapon here. I'm gonna get my ass kicked. You know what? Eat some fire. Eat it. Put it in your face. Love it. Munch on it. It's like a Slim Jim. It just becomes a bit of a problem as you get deeper and deeper into the game, because there's just certain enemies that just really come at you from corners, and you need to kind of tactically place yourself and try to prevent that from type of thing from happening. Also, there's little random events that can occur, which I suppose it does speak to the roguelike nature of the game here. Like, for instance, this one's the tough guys event. So every enemy, gosh dang you, woman. Every enemy basically has extra amounts of health right now, and there's a little bit more beefier to die. I may die a horrible death here, because I'm getting my ass kicked to me. But that's okay, because if I do die, that gives me the chance to at least show you what the death screen looks like. I'm perfectly okay with dying. I would have liked to have shown you the friggin' boss, though. Let's grab that fire spear. We still gotta grab this fire spear. Our meter is draining, douchebag. Alright, there's the chainsaw, guys. As far as the overall arc goes, by the way, I think the game looks fantastic. I think, yeah, the areas themselves are a little bit simplistic looking. It kind of has, I mean, it's not the most complicated game in the world. I will say that the Weaponographist is it's a very simplistic game. Oh, here's one of the weapons. There you go. This is from a future area here. It's like a tuba. It's a tuba. Yeah. And of course, that was a spell, so that weapon is now officially gone. Die, wizard! Okay, I gotta get a gun or a chainsaw or something. Chainsaw is not my favorite weapon in the world. Grab that heart there. We're doing pretty good, actually. We're in a little bit of crap there for a while, but then we kind of pulled out of it. Last second, I'm happy about that. Could you please die, go to hell, and die in fire? Now, eventually that combo meter on the bottom right, by the way, will drain. It's just inevitable. you're not going to be able to keep it full. It gets harder and harder to maintain. But, you know, we'll do our best to maintain it and try to kill as many enemies as possible. But yeah, I mean, the art style is fine. It's adorable. I think all the enemies look really cool. And some of the enemies, actually, as you get deeper and deeper into the game, get really, really complicated looking. Really neat. Like, I'm a lion tamer dude. He's pretty cool looking. I enjoy the animation style. Even though it's simplistic, I enjoy it still. The areas could use a little bit of diversity. I will say that it seems like you're just walking from box room to box room. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, it works for what it is. Which is essentially kind of like a, you know, an arena, you know, this almost has like a little bit of like a bullet hell feeling to it. Almost like you constantly need to be dodging enemies, you constantly need to be on the attack. A little bit of Smash TV vibe to it all, basically. Which, you know, I love Smash TV. It was a great game back in the day. There we go. Take that, you dark elf. Dude, you are pissing me off with those rings of fire. Take your Johnny Cash crap somewhere else, man. Oh, crap. I forgot I have a gun. Okay, we're gonna take this. Is there a better weapon around? No, I hate the bow. I hate the freaking bow. Dang it. Alright, now this little purple stone right here, you'll find these occasionally as you get deeper and deeper into the game. And those are essentially kind of like unlocks. You basically find those, and your character can basically save at those to like kind of continue point, basically. But of course, you need to actually beat the freaking board first. You can't just unlock it straight away. Looks like it's gonna be a long distance board today. Take that, fiend! There we go. I sure would like a Tommy gun. Thank you. Alright. Take that. Tommy gun is much more of a preferable weapon to me. Looks like my combo meter finally died, but that's okay. It was kind of going to happen either way. There was really no chance I was going to get it past level 4. I mean, I think the highest level I've ever gotten it to is 4. Most of the time I can't maintain my combo meter past that point. But I'm sure there's ways to obviously do that if you get those little bonuses that slow it down. That will definitely help you out. Because as you level, you do gain, you know, bonus damage. You do become a little bit stronger as you level up. So it is something to keep in mind. You can also see how much damage you're doing. I did not mean to do that. You can also see how much damage you're doing based off of what level you are. And those little green things that pop up, the little numbers that pop up. So this is the first boss right here. I'm going to try to kill one of these spear chuckers. Thank you. Here we go. Now, the first boss is really simplistic. Each boss has its own, I guess you could say, kind of like a pattern, a very much a simplistic way that they're going to do things. I'm jamming on the up button right now. This is definitely a point where I was talking to you guys about, where it just gets a little bit, definitely overwhelming as far as your fingers go. I'm just wailing on his ass, though. Look at him. He's taking it right up the ass, this guy. And gather all these health clobs here. I'm gonna get hit by that because I was an idiot. Because, you know, sometimes I like being hit by things. Why not? It keeps things interesting. You just vomited on me, you damn dinosaur! Who do you think you are? Oh, well, he's the boss. He's just kicking my ass for one thing. Alright, come on. Hey! 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 Stop it! Stop hitting me! Alright, he's almost dead. He's dead. He's dead. Alright, cool. We defeated the boss, which allows us to head down to the next area. And of course head to the next boss. And that's essentially how progression basically kind of works in this game. You finish an area, you kill a boss, you find continue points that allow you to kind of jump to that point at a later point. Every time you beat a board, you're going to see how fast you did it. If there was any unlocks, like weapons unlocks, spell unlocks, and how much, obviously, goop you earned for that particular board. Now, I'm going to at some point in time, want to die. But this is the next area, and this is where every time you switch areas, it's where they're going to start introducing new types of enemies with different types of weapons. Like, for instance, this guy has the whip, which is really fast. It really hurts enemies really quickly. Again, though, it's all kind of, you have to use tapping the button really fast to get to do the maximum amount of damage as fast as possible. Which is why I said it's a little bit, you know, difficult, a little straining on the fingers eventually. It's because the controller, usually because you're using the analog controller, the right analog stick to attack, it doesn't react as fast as, let's say, a keyboard. So I find it's a little bit more quicker to attack enemies with the keyboard than it is my controller. That could be just my controller, though, but I don't really have any other controller to test it with. But At least that's what I found with my experience with the game. So let's kill these guys as humanly fast as possible. There we go. Grab a new whip, might as well. By the way, when you switch areas, as you can see right here, we've obviously become a new... we jump back to level 1, which kind of sucks. Not gonna lie about that. But that is just the way it is. Let's move into this next area. Let's grab all these claws. Good God. As far as the music and all that stuff goes, I think it's just fine. I never really caught my attention. It seems subtle. It seems to work for what it is. Alright, let's show you what this guy's weapon is. Not my favorite weapon in the game right here. There's that tuba dude, by the way. If I kill him, I could possibly get me one of those. This is more or less kind of like the Tommy gun, except you have to press the button multiple times for it to fire. Not my favorite weapon in the game, but it's there. You can use it. I definitely prefer just using my fists over the slingshot or the whip in this particular case. It's a slow shooting weapon, and I find the fists to be a little bit more useful in that particular situation. Take that, you fiends! I whip thee. You like it though. You like it because you're dirty. You're dirty little trees. Looks like we hit level 2, which is fantastic, which means we're going to get to kill the enemies a little bit faster. Alright. Once we hit the next continue spot, I'll probably go ahead and head back to town so I can show you what upgrading and what that kind of all looks like there. It's a fun game. It's an enjoyable game. Definitely has a high replay value. As you were going to eventually die, you're gonna have to eventually hit a spot where... Why are they called psychos? Not sure what exactly that means. Yeah, take that. Okay, let's try it again. Alright. They're dead. That worked out really well, man. We got a lot of them dead there. You will eventually die, of course, because there's like you have to progress in this game. You have to get unlocks to get deeper and deeper into the game, and eventually you will beat the game. So I mean, in that regard, it does have replay value, but at the same time, there is probably like a weird, probably definitive end. As far as secrets or anything like that goes, I haven't really discovered any. But I mean, it is a roguelike game, so I mean, there's probably going to be some. Really, I hate the bow staff dudes. I like using their weapons. I just hate them. I don't want the Tommy gun. I hate this guy. This guy reminds me of a Mega Man enemy. It pisses me off to no end, this guy. Yeah, take that. Alright, well, let's grab the whip. Dude, back off. Back off. Back off, you bow flipping maniac. Wow, that really jacked him up. I'm not sure what the destructible environments are for, by the way. There's certain things you could just break. I'm not sure if there's like a bonus if they survive. I'm not really even sure why they're there for the most part, to be honest with you. Getting lots of hearts, which is pretty friggin' sweet. Keeping us alive a little bit longer. Take that! Thank you. Doing pretty good. Oh, I hate those guys. I friggin' hate them. Wow, they just did a lot of damage. We got about 11,000. I've seen some pretty extreme amounts that you can get in this game. I mean, I saw on the screenshots on Steam, people were like getting like 200,000. So I imagine that eventually these combo basically get really, really ridiculously high. So we made it to the first checkpoint here, which all we gotta do is just beat all these guys to do this, to unlock this. I hate these chainsaw dudes so freaking much. Alright, but let's use the chainsaw against these wizards. I wish you put on a ski mask when you put this on. I think it would just add a little bit of hilarity to the character. But yeah, it's a pretty action-packed game. It's enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable. I like the fact that you have to use constantly new weapons, constantly change things up. Why does it think I want to use a Tommy gun? You know, you're fine. Here's my Tommy gun, say! Alright. So we can basically create a new checkpoint. We're going to hit yes, and then we're going to head back to town. And then we're allowed to basically grab, use our points up. So for instance, we've pretty much maxed out all the weapons. Let's go ahead and grab all those health power-ups. We'll grab the invincibility rune. Is there anything left we can use? A longer blink or speed up. Let's go ahead and grab the longer blinky technology. I think that's basically everything we can do here. Tuba, there we go. We'll upgrade our spells a little bit as well. And then we'll go back to this guy, and then we'll grab the second continue spot, which is right here. It's going to use 90% of our gloop to get back to that point, by the way, but that's perfectly fine by me. I don't really care. We could use that continuation point, I think, like about, I want to say 3 times or something like that. I'm not really sure. Here's another weapon here, which is actually a really freaking awesome one. It's just freaking bombs. I love it. It's just explosion. It really lets you take out enemies really quickly. It's a chaotic as hell weapon. I'll do that one for free. I don't understand why a bag of bombs breaks, but you know, whatever. Take this! Ugh. Love how much damage it does, too. Please die, you squid bastard. And then basically that's it. You kind of rinse, repeat. We're heading towards the second area boss. We have to kill a hell of a lot more people in the game. Like I said, it's a fun game. It's enjoyable. It's not a true twin-stick shooter in any way or form. Maybe it has that kind of Binding of Isaac feel to it, where you can just aim only in 4 directions. Not that this is anything like Binding of Isaac, mind you. I think this game is a little bit more simplistic than Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac is way more complexity. This is more of an action game. Definitely more of an action game. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And sometimes you just want to blow crap up. Punch this guy in the face. And that did not work out very well for me. Oh, it's the shield dudes. I love these guys. I haven't unlocked their weapon yet. I'm dying. Holy crap. There we go. Heart. That was convenient. My friggin' hands are already starting to get tired, man. Okay, grab another heart there. That was lucky. Oh god. Yep, nothing we can do about that. Hey, hey! That little dude, come here! Alright, super sweet. So we're gonna hit these guys. Ugh. Yeah, you can see each enemy has a little bit of a tactics to them, but as you just start getting overwhelmed with the amount of enemies in the game, especially this little squid jerk-off, it can get pretty overwhelming. And that's where the challenge of it definitely kicks in. Looks like we're hit level 4, by the way. We definitely need to grab the next slowing of the combo meter down, I think, for us to progress any farther. That was stupid of me, actually, probably just to stand there and take that shot to the face. That's okay. Drop the shield. We'll grab that really quick. It's a pretty cool weapon. I don't know if it protects you. I wonder if it protects you from damage if you don't actually attack with it, though. Like, if you just hold it in front of you. Let's see. I'm kind of curious. Let's go to the lion tamer, dude. Here we go. Oh, it does. Cool. Very cool. So it's also like a little bit of an invulnerability if you just hold it in front of you and don't attack with it at first. I like that aspect to it. Very cool weapon, actually. Even though it breaks friggin' fast. Maybe because it counts being hit as well as a, Oh, you little bastards. Take this. And this. Die. I'm gonna die. I'm totally gonna die here. I'm totally dead. Tommy gun! Oh, I'm dead. But that's okay, because I can use my continuation point again. Take whatever little credits I've earned. It looks like I got new upgrades unlocked. The shield and the bomb bag finally unlocked for me. And we go back to town, kind of rinse and repeat. We could start all over again from the beginning if we wanted to earn maximum amount of cash. But, you know, otherwise you're going to want to use those continuation points. So that's why I said, in a way, it is a roguelike, but in a weird way, it has very light rogue elements to it, because it's really easy to progress in this game. You do have that permadeath aspect to it again, but you can just hop on your continue spot. Or, you know, you don't even necessarily have to use the continue spot, for God's sakes. I think you could just go to, you can just go straight to the depth that you were at, and then head to the continuation spot once you use up your 2 continues. But yeah, it's a fun game. I really enjoyed it. There's lots of weapons, lots of spells, lots of cool power-ups and things like that to keep the game fresh and keep the game going. It's high pace, high replay value, guys. I just want to say big thanks to the developer and publisher for a chance to check out this game. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and share, guys, and I'll keep bringing you awesome indie games, guys. If you really enjoyed this video, maybe consider hitting up that tip jar. If you're feeling generous of heart, all tips go to improving the channel or future giveaway. Don't forget to comment on the giveaway, guys, and till next time, play more indie games.